Hello everyone, welcome back to the live stream. Uh, in this live stream, we're going to tackle the models that we have created earlier, and we also unwrap the ice cream cup in the part 3. If you're directly seeing this in part 4, then I've given the link of part 1 and 2 3 in the description. So in UV, but we need to relocate the and so let's grab it and let's select one of the vertex and then L to the select all the links, maybe scale and like similar to, and if you if you can't if you cannot if you're not able to for where from where you to export the UV map, you can just go to the UV out here and then export to UV. Let's say I'm going to rename it as a cup, export the UV. Now you have UV island have been exported. Now let's begin with the raspberry. So let's get back to the shading workspace, and from right there we're going to maybe we can work on in the modeling viewport, and let's drag another UV map maybe. So let's this to be and geometry node editor, and let's change this to shader editor, and now we have the model in the left side. So let's do the texturing thing. Before that, we need to create a material. So let's create a new material for the raspberry. That's click on the new button out here, and let's rename it as a raspberry, raspberry. And even though we have created a material of the raspberry, but it does not shows in the 3D viewport because we need to add a add a set material node in the geometry node. Before creating before assigning any material, let's arrange the nodes. Right now it's all are kind of messy, so let's put all the nodes in group by selecting all the node, and then what you can do is press Control and J to add a group. So now you can drag all together in with one click. So let's sort it out. Let's create another group like this. Now we can able to differentiate what node is for what, and J. now we have several groups of note. Now it will be kind of like easier to add material to the node. Now let's add a set the material node and just drop in the link of the Raspberry, and this is the Raspberry, and yeah, this is the here, so this is the leaf and this is the root. But from there we can select before like selecting anything, we are going to add node to, we are going to give this node to all the node groups. And now let's select the Raspberry material for the Raspberry, and right now it's white because the material is white. If you change the color, you can able to see the color. We are going to change it to like red. Yep, that's right. And we're also going to give surface color like similar to the Raspberry, that's red, this much. Yep. And now before like adding any other nodes, let's set some values to the principal BSDF, like surface IRO is surface index of reflection. It's 1.330. It's similar to like ice index of reflection. And for the spectacular, it's right now it's 0.5. we're going to reduce it. If you like decrease the spectacular, it's kind of like not shiny, it's eliminated all the shines. If you increase the specular, then it will give kind of shine to it. Maybe I will go like 0.4. And for the roughness, we are going to create a node base. So right now it's no need to set roughness. And clean code be, yep, it can let it be default. Let's increase the transmission. Actual transmission is a transparency of the object. So Raspberry will be kind of like thin layer of skin, and underneath it will be mostly like kind of liquid, so it will be kind of like there is some like degree of a transparency in a Raspberry. So I will go around 0.6 is better. Now we can see some like light emitting from inside. It's a reflection of the light. That's because of the transmission. If you increase all the way up, it will kind of look like a glass and it will see through. So let me set it to 2.6. And that's it for the principal BSDF. Now we're going to create is a some like textures. It's right now it's very smooth, there's no texture at all. So let's add a texture to it, like a noise texture. What we are going to use is a Musgrave texture. and we're going to determine this as a height for the bump. So let's we are also going to create this as a roughness of the raspberry. So connect this to the raspberry. Yep, now it's very smooth, there is no roughness at all. We can see all the reflections of the HDR, and we are also going to create a kind of bump map. So to add this, we are going to create a bump map, and we are going to connect this normal to the normal. And right now it's does not show any like changes in the material. We need we are going to use the same Musgrave texture for the like bump also. So let's get this to the height, and now see it's all distorted. It's looking kind of like candy, kind of weird candy shape, maybe like a dry fruit. It's having dent. Let's decrease the bump map. Actually bump map used to like create a kind of fake like roughness or like kind of like bumpy area to the object, and it will be seen only in the material preview or in render preview, but in the actual shape it's going to like kind of fake out the bumps. So we're going to increase the value to 0.7. now it's pretty much very rough, and we can able to change this bump from the Musgrave properties. Like we're going to scale up like this. Maybe we're going to scale around a 21 or 22. Yep, that's kind of looking great. And now we're going to also increase the detail of it by maybe to value to 2.4, and the let's dimension to be around 0.1. Yep, and that's it. Right now it's kind of a bit rough, not appealing to the eye, but we're going to fix it by adding a contrast to the roughness by adding color ramp. Now what we will determine is right now, if we increase the value to white, it's going to like total rough. It will does not reflect anything. If I bring it down to black, it's going to be very shiny. So let's it be around mid gray, towards the lightness, maybe around here. Yep, and we're going to decrease the value of the height. That's it. Even though we created a roughness map, we need one more thing to do, that is a texture coordinate. To add a texture coordinate, you select the texture node, and you can press Ctrl T, so that it will automatically like join to like create a texture coordinate. And you are going to connect to it the object to the vector, and it's looking pretty like very messy. I think we need to, one more thing is we need to tweak some adjustment from the Musgrave maybe. Let's give some, maybe we're going to increase the size of scale. It's, and we are going to decrease the like strength, like a bump strength, and let's decrease the size. Maybe around right there, 21,000. Yep. Now it's looking pretty much neat. Let's increase a little bit more. Let's see how it's look. Yeah, lower the value is better. Yep, now we have textured the raspberry, but it's looking kind of like make it more shiny. Yep, that's looking great. So now let's yep, we can give the same texture to the inside of the berry also. Right now it's looking too odd because of the white. Let's give, I think where's the inside? Yep, that's the inside of the inside of a raspberry. So let's control click and then drag this out here, and let's give it as a raspberry. Now it's inside also it's have like raspberry. Now it's looking good. Maybe if you want to change the color, you can directly change it from the base color like this, or you can change to any other color like as a wish. I'm going to make like red. Yep, that's good for me. And now let's create another slot, because we cannot create another material, because right now it's like one mesh, like leaf and the duplicate of the raspberry are in one object, so we cannot create another material. What we can do is we can create another slot for the material that's for the leaf. So let's create another slot 2, and click on the drop down in the slot 1 and add a material slot 2, and we're going to create a new material on it. Let's name it as a leaf. For the leaf, first we're going to like make a pattern of a leaf like we did before in the creation of the cream. Likewise, we're also going to create some pattern on the leaf. So let me select the base color. Right now it does not show the color in the leaf because we need to assign the in the set material, and we need to select the leaf, and now it's there's the color of leaf. So let's make it around like it, and let's decrease the value. Let's move towards the lime color around here. Yep, it's looking pretty good. Let's also set a leaf, or we can directly like create a slot tree and new material, and let's copy this material by Ctrl C. Let's go to 3 and let's say V. Oh, and we can connect the surface principal BSDF to the surface, and now we have a color. Let's rename it as a maybe root, and we're going to change no, from let's change the leaf to the root. It's going to have same, but if when we like change the material of the leaf, it does not change the material of the root. That's great. And let's set the some value of a subsurface. Let's say 1.330, like a raspberry, and specular let it be roughness. Let's increase the roughness around 0.662, and we're going to keep it like this. Yep, that's it. Now what we can do is we can create a texture for the leaf. So create the new texture. We're going to use a separate XYZ, like we did before in the cream. So let's select let's type EP separate XYZ, and now we're going to separate the XYZ. So let's add a new node called matte node, and like let's select this to the octangent 2, and let's add. And before that, we are going to add one bump node. Let's add this to the normal, and we can, yep, now we can able to like tweak the bumps by creating this value to the height of tangent 2. Right now it will like show no value because we need to add value. Let's say x. Let's collect the x value, and the y value. It's pretty same. Let's add a again matte node like we did before. Let's create this to be same. And let's give a some musgrave texture to it. Let's select this one right here. Let's copy this bump 50 and add a note here. Normal to the normal. Let's give it some like roughness, like bump of famous. Let's give GRAPE musgrave texture and add this to the height. Now we can see some like bumps here and there. So let's change, let's decrease the scale to 2 and let's increase the detail up to 6 and dimension 2.2. Yeah, and now we have very rough material right now. What we can do is we can duplicate this scene node and let's delete the one musgrave. So let's add in between and let's create a multiply node. If I and we also need is a texture coordinate node. So let's add texture coordinate node, and from there we're going to choose object to connect this node, and also we're going to choose the object from that vector node. And now you can see some effect of a arctangent 2 and then a scene node. Let's increase the value of the mad node. See, you can see some like effects and rotating. Actually, like scene, like let's high mute. Arctangent will like create some value. In right now we cannot see clearly. Let's see. In the mode, yep. Arctangent will like create like gradient in like y-axis global thing, like globally they go one from another in the y-axis, and then the scene value will create in a like strips in a kind of x-axis. That's why. So let's unhide both the thing, and you can see some very unique pattern which we have created from the scene and the arctangent value. I'm going to decrease the size, like the strength, maybe around maybe 20, or maybe value of 20, but some are very thin and some are large, so let's find a nice value, like maybe 27. It's looking great. And right now we don't have a color of it, right? So we can create some subsurface color. So let's add a subsurface color by we're going to add a kind of noise rough. So shift A, and so let's add a noise texture, and let's connect this color, and let's decrease the scale to 4, and yep, we have decreased to 4. And now let's add a color ramp to add color to the subsurface color. So let's select this black to be like a dark color, and this can be very kind of lime color, but decrease the value. And we have two distinguished color, and let's connect with the normal. So normal color to the vector. Now we have added the subsurface color. So one thing we need to add is a mix RGB color node. Let's add the mix RGB. So mix RGB node, and let's connect to the this separate RGB, and right now it's kind of very smooth, so we're going to create add a noise texture. Go to the texture and select the noise texture. Let's add the noise texture, and let's scale down it to the 3, and let's increase the detail to 3, and roughness maybe around 0.7. That's good. And this to be plugged to be in color 2, and let's create the object color to be a color 1. But we cannot see the like effect of the strip, because we need to adjust the value in the bump area. We are going to decrease the bump up to point strength up to 1.30, and we are going to also decrease the strength maybe around 0.4. But even though we cannot see the strips, I think we need to some change in and around the thing. We have separated the value, and let's change this mix to linear light. Right now it's completing shadow linear light, and I think this color should be color. Yeah. I don't know, there's some problem. We're going to change the factor. Let's change the factor to the point 0.1, and now there's one more issue, that's we cannot see the thing we want. So let's yeah, the input is right in tangent to. Let's increase the file up to 36. Here's an issue. We have some issues. Like maybe we're going to decrease. Let's decrease the distance. I think that's one of the problem. Like 0.005. Let's this decrease to be 0.6. We don't want this to be invert. There is one thing I didn't get it right. I think everything is right, but what we can do is we need to also ensure that the value, everything is right in Node, but I don't know where we get it wrong. We cannot see the strengths. We did not add a object to the node to this color. This company, yep, that's the problem we are facing, because we didn't connect the object to the color one, even though you can maybe you can use generate. We did not connect the linear light to with the texture coordinate. That's why we didn't get the stripped texture, but everything is right now. Let's texture the hair. For the hair, it's kind of very easy to do. Let's add a new node. Let's call it hair, and from let's select here to shift T, and let's choose the here to here. And what we're going to do is we're going to just change the base color of the hair to like brown, around this brown, yep. And we are going to create a subsurface color to kind of orange with let's and let's increase the specular to maybe 0.7 something, 7.7, 7.3. It's looking great. Maybe we can like change in some, but I don't think we need to change any other thing for the hair, and that's it. We have now textured the raspberry. Now what we can do is we can texture, you can change the color of the cream if you like. This color you can keep it, or if you need to change, if you want to change the color also, you can change it. I can change it, yeah, but I'm going to add one more texture, that's diffuse BSTF, and I'm going to add one more thing, that's a make shader node, and we're going to connect both the node in the shader, and let's change the color, maybe blue, pink, whatever color you like. I like the pink. I like the pink color, so let's, you can also like how much pink you want, or how much want the creating color, you can like determine it from the make shader, from the playing with the factor. I'm going to around like kind of like light pink color. Maybe I can increase a little bit up to 0.6. Yep, that's ideal. So now we only left with the one thing, that's a texture for the cup. We're going to create a new material for the cup, and so we are also going to create add a node, that's a image texture, because we're going to texture this cup in the Photoshop. So let's add a image texture node and select this color to that one, and let's select cup. Right now it's black because we don't have any textures. You can, if you like, if you can texture direct from the blender like this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do in a Photoshop. So I'm going to open the Photoshop and going to open the like this is the one we want, cup. Yeah, we have textures. Let's use pen tool. Let's make a random like this, and so I'm going to use, yep, for this one, and I'm going to fill, like give a color around like a blue. So let's fill the color and control T, and I'm going to also like for this I'm going to use the eclipse tool, shift, and not eclipse, sorry, I'm going to use the eclipse tool to select this one. Let's make I think we need to undo the thing, and let's add another layer. Drop correctly. Now let's sorry, we'll create a new like a blue color. Maybe a little bit darker would be better. Let's use this clips to let's fill the color. This one, and similar to this if element, you can color this thing, and you can even, if you want, if you can add a text to the texture in Photoshop, but I'm not going to add any texture, but I'm going to use some brush, charcoal brush, and like create some effect. with maybe like a lighter color. Yep, I'm going to like randomly random patches. Like if you want, you can try different shape, or you can draw things on your own, or you can, if you want to add a text, you can add the text. Right now I'm going to leave it, I'm not going to add the text now. I think it's looking good. So you can add different types of layers with a different texture, with a custom create texture. So for me, I'm going to leave it for there right now, and I'm going to save this file as a png. So let's select png, let's go, let's overwrite the texture, and let's go back to the blender, and let's go to shading, viewport, and from there we can open the texture we have created in the Photoshop. So you can choose the cup png and open it. Now you have a texture on a cup. Yeah, that's it. And let's select a view that we want, maybe around this one, and let's add a camera. But to add camera, you can shift A and go to camera and add. We have added a camera. Let's track down, and I'm going to set the position of the camera, what we can see right now in the viewport, by doing Control Alt and press 0. And let's adjust the camera, so let's press GG, and yeah, we can drag the camera right here. And for the world, we're going to use a color. We're going to use a environment texture. From the environment texture, what we are going to do is we're going to choose HDRI. We're going to use the Canon 4. You can download this from the HDRI Heaven. Let's go to render, yeah. And we're in the render, we're going to make it transparent. So, and let's render it by F2. Yep. I think we need to do this in cycle for a better result. Or you can like directly render in the EV also. There's no issue. So yeah, that's it for the modeling a Raspberry in a Blender using the geometry node. And this is the last session, and thank you for being with me in life to this journey. And yep, and see you in next tutorial video or tutorial like live class. Yep, and for today's and this live stream, this is the end. And we have also like ended the like 4 live session to create ice cream and the raspberry by like using the geometry note in the blender. And thank you once again for your support, and let's see you in the next live session. Yeah, thank